Hi everyone, it's Eric from ecomma12.blogspot.com, and today I'll be reviewing a mobile game, and one you probably would not have expected me to review, Angry Birds Transformers. Before we dive in though, I just want to give a quick shout out to Vodafone for sending me this iPad mini out for review. With that said, let's get started. Now, Angry Birds Transformers was developed by the company that started it all, Rovio Entertainment. These guys are behind the entire franchise, including the original, Seasons, Rio, Friends, Space, Star Wars 2, and Epic. If that wasn't enough, the series also has a bunch of spin-offs that went completely over my head. Now, Angry Birds Transformers first hit iOS on October the 15th, 2014, and soon after came to Android on the 30th. What's very interesting about this version in particular is that it abandons the stale formula from the previous games, and although it has the Angry Birds license, it cannot be more different than the games it originated from. The concept in the original game was that you fire a variety of projectiles to take down the enemy. The concept of this game is that you fire a variety of projectiles to take down the enemy. Okay, so in essence the game is exactly the same. But I suppose the difference is in its presentation. Just look at the gameplay. You are essentially doing the exact same thing, but at the same time something completely different. So let's talk about the actual gameplay. The goal of this game is that you take your Angry Bird / Transformer and fire at who else? The green piggies. Now you can actually fire on the pigs themselves, but that takes too long and is not very efficient. The main strategy behind it is to use the platforms against them, and you can take them out much more effectively this way. And since this is based on Transformers, you can transform into a vehicle, but we will get more into that later. The game consists of an entire map full of stages for you to complete, with each one increasing in difficulty. So let's talk about the good aspects of this game. The first thing that I immediately liked was the graphics. Sure, they are not anything great or even push the capabilities of smartphones and tablets nowadays, but neither did Angry Birds for that matter. And this game, to its credit, at least picked a different art style and didn't stick to the same look of its predecessors. So I really thought the graphics worked. The gameplay I also enjoyed. At first it feels a little awkward, but you get used to it very quickly and then you just keep on playing. The most satisfying part in my opinion was shooting the bombs and watching all the debris fly everywhere. Also, the transforming mechanic is very well implemented. It only lasts for a few seconds at a time though, so you'll have to use it strategically, but it adds another decent layer of gameplay to the mix. I especially love the slow motion it does when you just escape a falling tower. So, those are all my good points. Now it's time to move on to the bad aspects. What didn't I like about this game? Well, the music for starters. It starts out tolerable, but that changed very quickly to annoying, then downright agonizing. This soundtrack is just an absolute headache to listen to. The music is played in the background, but for some reason there is more emphasis on that than there is in the actual sound effects. Once I finish playing a stage, the music keeps on playing in my head, and I am forced to listen to it again in order to continue playing, as there isn't an option to turn it off. You either play with the music on, or turn the sound off altogether. Those are your only two options. The other thing I was not too keen on was your weapon's accuracy. As you can see, in order to fire your weapon, you need to touch different parts of the screen. The only downside is if you want to shoot very small obstacles, you can accidentally hit the wrong one, and this is especially frustrating when you are trying to shoot a bomb that's concealed behind wooden bars. Okay, now we are going to cover the main problem with this game, the elephant in the room, the disastrous disease that plagues pretty much all mobile games right now. In-app purchases. Now this is something that is not getting as much flack as it should. Lots of greedy mobile developers are guilty of this. They let you play the first few levels of the game, and once you get into it, you run out of crystals or gems or whatever, and you will need to replenish them. Now this is where they try to rob you of your money. You can try to earn more gems by replaying the previous levels about 30 plus times, or you can just purchase them. You look at the prices, and I warn you now, this is where you won't believe your eyes. Look at this. In order to get a handful of gems, it will cost you £3.99, and that doesn't buy you the game or anything, oh no. Once they are finished, which won't take long, you will then need to buy more. No one in their right mind would buy these gems, which are essentially game passes. You should only pay for the game once and that's it. DLC is acceptable if priced reasonably, but charging us to continue playing a few more rounds is ridiculous. Now these are just for starters. Let's see how much it costs to get even more gems. There you are. For such a basic game, you can actually pay £40 to £80 to get a temporary pass. And remember, that still does not buy you the game. Once you run out, you will need to buy more. This is just wrong on so many levels and is the reason why mobile games have completely lost their identity. Mobile games are supposed to be quick, affordable, and fun. The gameplay is certainly quick, but if you have to take constant breaks or replay the same old levels in order to progress, then that takes the quick and fun aspect out, which is just left with affordable. And after seeing the preposterous price of the gems, that crosses out affordable. I know the company has to make money, but with such a popular franchise, there is no doubt it will make them a huge profit. Heck, the older games in the series are still making them a profit, and then there's the ads. Yeah, this game actually has video ads placed all over it. If you load a stage, more often than not you'll first be taken to an ad, and once it's complete, you can continue to the level. They also try to entice you to watch the ad in its entirety, and then you get a very small reward. So already they're making a lot of money in this way, and they have a nerve to charge you so much just to continue playing the game. It really is a shame, as if this gem system was not included, then I would be able to recommend it to the family in a heartbeat, but unfortunately, I can't. So here is my message to the developers. If you remove the gem system, then I would give this game a 7, but since it's here, the overall score has been significantly reduced to a 3 out of 10. It really pains me to do this, as it's obvious this game has a lot of effort put into it, and it's not the worst when it comes to paywalls, but still, the damage is there, and I cannot recommend it to anyone who wants to play through this entire cash grab. So guys, that concludes my review of Angry Birds Transformers. I really hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and if you didn't, well, let me know why. Don't forget to leave a comment and hit that subscribe button. It's free for you and good for me. Also, check out Dave Collins' channel, Lack78. He covers and gives his input on a variety of different topics, and if you are a YouTuber who is either starting out or trying to achieve higher viewership, definitely head on over to his channel. I have been subscribed to him for a very long time, and his advice has been invaluable to me. So definitely check him out and subscribe to his channel. Thank you very much for watching, and until we meet again guys, have a great rest of the day.